You are now entering another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of critical thinking. A journey to a wondrous land with boundaries that of clarification. Your next stop, the Sanity Zone.
So, you're a philosopher?
Yes. 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 I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply.
In about 4 seconds, a teacher will begin to speak.
I think very deeply.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
What's up? What's up? What's up, New Haven? What's up, Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube, Twitch? Anyway, you want to hear us or see us? You know, we're available. Just go. If you're listening to me on the radio at 103.5 FM, New Haven's home for community radio, right? WNHHLP. You could also see me and hear me at the same time by going to Facebook/New Haven Independent. Just go to your Facebook page. In the search bar, just put in New Haven Independent or WNHH Community Radio. Or if you're a Twitter person, go to @WNHHLP, and you can find us there on Twitter, on Periscope. On YouTube, you can find us at New Haven Independent. And of course, you could also hear us streaming audio on newhavenindependent.org. So check us out on any one of those mediums. Let's get started. Let's see. I could tell you I always like to go in and tell you what's happening in my day because, you know, I work with liberals. I work with liberal, socialist, communists, and then the people who come through this office are all far left liberals, to be kind. Right? But today I was talking with a few of these liberals about the reporter who was attacked by Antifa in Portland, Oregon. Right? So you know, I was looking for a reaction from them, right? Cuz they're always talking about how Trump's words are so dangerous. Right? And a good example is at the G20, Trump was, you know, talking with Putin, and they were talking about the coverage Trump gets. And Trump tells Putin, you know, this isn't something you have to deal with over there, right? Making a joke, probably a dumb joke when it comes to talking about reporters and Russia, because they don't have, you know, the freedoms over there that we have, right? They're not covered by the First Amendment. Of course, you know, that's obvious. With the United States of America, we have our own constitution. Russia's different, right? And they, or I say they, but they treat their reporters, Putin treats his reporters or the people who report on him differently. And I think on the news, I heard that like in the last 10 years or something, like 26 reporters have died who've covered Putin harshly. So Trump, you know, kind of stroking the ego of this monster says, and of course I know it, right? Of course, and of course Trump knows it. But he also knows how to schmooze. He knows how to tame the wild animal, right? And he does that with his words. Same thing he's doing with Kim Jong-un, right? He's trying to tame, because look, everything we've tried doesn't work with these monsters. So Trump, in his Trump manner, he tries to soothe the savage beast, right? So he says, you know, you don't have to worry about this, of course, because basically they're a police state, so Putin will shut down whoever he wants to shut down. So the reporters go, oh my God, Trump is making light of the fact that reporters die at the hands of Putin. Oh my God, he's saying, maybe he's saying that he wants to kill us the same way Putin kills. Now, come on. This is where they always go a bit too far. You want to criticize Trump for giving Putin that out, right? Instead of telling him, you know, you should allow your reporters to be as free as they want to. If they want to be free idiots, let them be free idiots. That's what he should say. But instead, he says you don't have to deal with this, and they go crazy. But Trump possibly wants to kill reporters like Putin, or, oh my God, to the wrong ears or right ears, they might hear that Trump wants violence against reporters. No, that's the message that you're putting out there. That message that you're trying to bait somebody with. Trump didn't say anything like that. He said a bad joke. A very bad joke. Even though it's a bad joke, I understand his methods, his motives. He's trying to stroke the ego of this monster, right? Because he wants, so look, we need, and of course, Putin does the same thing with Trump, right? So these heads of state, these very powerful heads of state, need to be able to work with each other. And the whole hoax of Trump working with Russia and possible collusion, that actually hurt the presidency. Forget Trump for a second. It hurt the presidency because the president needs to be able to actually deal with these monsters, right? And let's not act like, oh my God, Obama didn't deal with him. Obama tried to do as good as he could with Russia. But Obama placated China and other leaders around the world. Saudi Arabia, same thing Trump does, right? And he was criticized by the right for it. And the left defended it as Obama is trying to schmooze these people and trying to get them to buy his message. Same thing Trump is doing. So let's not be hypocritical. Right? So anyway, Trump, you know, Trump's a little rough around the edges, so you're not gonna get the smoothness that Obama had, but you will get somebody who is gonna push and push and push with kindness, right? And with, you know, that New York style abrasiveness. You know, so you could trust on that. You think that Trump only is kind with monsters, and that's ridiculous. So anyway, so I was talking to a couple of colleagues about what happened in Portland, Oregon. You know, and like I said, because they always say that Trump's words are dangerous, but it was disappointing, the reaction I got. It was, why is that guy following Antifa? He's a reporter. Why is he always covering on Antifa? Maybe he did something that's not on the camera. Maybe we can't see what started it. Maybe he started something. This guy who consistently cover Antifa and their wildness, their violence, right? Their terrorist tactics. He does cover them. And I got a message I didn't want to hear because it excused the violence that they brought upon this guy. Right? And let me see if I could show this to you right now. I wasn't going to get into it, but let me try to get to it. So, I mean, they abused this guy. They physically assaulted him. Right? And some people I know were okay with it. It's kind of insane. If you're watching on Facebook Live, you'll see the video. I'm about to play it. Here we go. And excuse the language, there may be some person. They are attacking this young man violently. They're throwing cups of concrete at him, right at his head.
Fucking own, bitch!
They caught. He was actually had to be taken to the emergency room, right? Because he had an intracranial bleed, and I'm sad by everything. I'm sad at the Democrat Party that I used to know, right? For some reason, they lack a sense of morality suddenly. It's like it's okay if the reporter's a conservative reporter to attack and beat him. Right? It's okay for if you're at a restaurant and you're found out to be conservative, for them to spit on you. It's okay for them to verbally abuse you and your family if they find out you're conservative at a restaurant. What's going on? I mean, think about this. I joke around about TDS. Look, and most of the people I know do have TDS. And it's so, I joke around that they need to get treated, but this is becoming serious. When you're excusing violence just because you hate Trump. And most of you can't even put together the sentences needed to explain why you hate him. You blurt out stuff that you can't prove. Oh, he's racist. Oh, he's this. Oh, he hates the children at the border. And the reason I say you can't put together the proper sentences is because I could point to where Obama did the same thing, where George Bush did the same thing, and you weren't outraged. When Bill Clinton was putting up walls at the border. When the Democrats voted to pass the money under Obama and George Bush to build walls at the border. When we were actually interested in actually being a sovereign country and actually protecting our borders under Obama, under Bush, under Clinton. And now suddenly, to want secure borders is to be racist. It's insane. To call our border patrol Nazis, which a lot of Democrats have called them. To call our ICE agents Nazis that are looking for people like the Nazis looked for the Jews. It's insane. What are you people doing? What is wrong with you? If this wasn't bad, if it wasn't evil, under Obama, why is it evil now? What is wrong with you? I am bewildered by what's going on. But I'm sad, most of all, at a lot of the people I speak with, because they're complacent. They're okay with where the Democrat Party is going. For a lot of them, the violence is okay. The verbal attacks are okay. As long as you're doing it to people who support Trump. This is becoming very dangerous, where we're making the other party the enemy. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again. The Democrats see the conservatives, Republicans, the other side, as bad people with ideas. Where the Republicans only look at the other side and see people with bad ideas, good people with bad ideas. There is something wrong with you if you see the other side as the enemy. We can't allow this country to move in that direction. It is becoming scary. And the left is becoming dangerous. They are becoming the brown shirts of Adolf Hitler. You're trying to scare people into your way of thinking. You're stripping the freedoms of choosing your political party and being vocal about it. You're taking away free speech because people are afraid to claim that they support Trump. It's becoming really scary, and you have to be better people. Trump hasn't done this to you. You've done it to yourself. Trump hasn't done anything to you. You've done it to yourself. If you suddenly don't care about the law, that isn't a Trump problem. That's a you problem. If you cared about Border Patrol under Obama and suddenly don't care, that's a you problem. That isn't Trump hating anyone. That's you hating him. If you suddenly feel that the other side is evil, that's not their problem. That's you. That hatred is coming from within you. Nobody's attaching it to you. That's you projecting onto others the hate that's within you. You have to be better people. This is scary, what's going on over there in Portland, Oregon. And the police stay out of it, and they're allowing them to pull people out of their cars. It's scary. We need to be better people. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, play some music, and I'll be right back. You're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
Yo, it's the G-O-D, B-O-D. Yeah, rock your body. Illegal business controls America. Business controls America.
I never ever ran from the Ku Klux Klan, and I shouldn't have to run from a black man.
Industry rule number 4080. Record companies are shady. Yeah, I know y'all been waiting. Y'all been patient. Let's go. I be the MC version of Huey P, the all-seeing through my 2020 brown Bruce Lee's, Malcolm X / Muhammad Ali, karate chop the riders block with the Hasi Selassie karate. Your photo shoots with the same old stare. You're sitting there in the wicker chair, holding the heat. You're in despair with my coalition comrades in the rear. Pat downs, peasy, if we here with their fists, cause of what I say. These just wanna blast me away, but I'll be back with no delay, like Jesus Christ on Easter Sunday. In the ring, they wanna murder God body. Sacrifice the life for the Christ on Good Friday. Resurrect and return the wreck. Snap a nigga neck for some live effects. Approach the podium, give a mic check, adjust the specs, bless the chest with a bulletproof vest before I catch wreck. Spitting and spazzing yo in the side of assassins and rapping before biggest bullets be blasting yo at my black ass and hit a free the hood from the mental enslavement. This ain't gangster rap, this is a form of entertainment. Controversial, kissy notions coming through the speaker like the brick through the living room window of a civil rights leader. Prolific, gifted, leaving spirits lifted like Dr. King's last words before we got his cap twisted. I'm told I'm a nigga with an attitude, cause I choose to spell America like Ice Cube, yo, white America. I got some real bad news, me and my crew's about to open up some all black schools. I ain't Jacob, but wake up baby, I drop jewels on young tykes to keep their business tight like kites, core jewels. Apologize, I highly refuse when it's cool. Yo, when I choose to use the word in referring to my black brothers and sisters, when you really want me to mistreat my Miss Silly like Mr. like Rama. I just want you to follow the leader when Whitey want me to beat her like Silly told Hoppo to do to Sophia. Leave the color purple bruises on her complexion, need to give her everlasting love and affection with every inch of my enum insurrection in a midsection. In producing positive pregnancy tests, I bring the drama like some of Osama. Suicide bombers pose like a comma as I preach and teach truth like Dalai Lama. Overcome like Obama, offer from a prima donna, looking for a shorty from the hood with the heart of Osada. Influential like a nephew.
All right, you're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry, aka The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM. All right. All right, so let's get into it. All right, I was talking today with someone about Pride Month and all that stuff, and you know, I heard a lot of negative stuff being said about Trump, right? So that he hates gays and stuff like that, and I was like, ooh, I don't know about that. Oh, well, look what he's doing with transgenders in the military and everything. And, I think those are two different issues, but let me give you information that you probably don't know about. So let's get into some of this. Let me pull this headline up and we'll read it. All right, this is from early this year, February 21st, 2019. Right? Trump launches global campaign. This is from the Jerusalem Post. I like to try to get headlines from it. This you can find it in CNN and all those things too. But I wanted to highlight the Jerusalem Post. Right. So anyway, Trump launches global campaign to decriminalize homosexuality. Right. So when you look at this, a report from the Jerusalem Post on death penalty. Oh, it updated on its own here. Okay. A report from the Jerusalem Post on death penalty of Iranian gays played a role in ending criminalization of gays. Right? So this is actually a huge movement on the Trump in part of the Trump administration to decriminalize homosexuality around the world, because people get tortured, killed, abused for being gay all over the world. A report by the Jerusalem Post detailing the Iranian regime's public hanging of a man based on a law against gays led U.S. President Donald Trump's administration to announce on Tuesday that it will be launching a campaign to end the criminalization of homosexuality across the globe. U.S. Ambassador to Germany Richard Grenell, who is the administration's most high-profile openly gay official, told the Post on Tuesday that 71 countries criminalize homosexuality and 8 will put you to death for being gay. The Trump administration is launching a new push with our European allies to end this human rights outrage. So that's happening under Donald Trump. I just want to say, right, because you only hear the negative messaging from the media, from activists, and they never want you to hear any good being done by the Trump administration. This is a big step for humanity. Treating everybody fairly across the globe. Now, unfortunately, it is across the globe, but it's a movement that he's trying to get a bunch of partners together to actually make this happen. Right? So, there you go. Right? Let me get another headline. The struggle for gay rights is over. This is from The Atlantic. This is a liberal paper, right? I briefly wondered if I had wandered into the wrong conference. In January 2018, the National LGBTQ Task Force held its annual Creating Change conference at a hotel around the corner from where I live in Washington, D.C. Creating Change, which bills itself as the foremost political leadership and skills building conference for the LGBTQ social justice movement. Brings together thousands of activists from across the country, yet surveying the various panel discussions left me confused. Elephant in the waiting room. Self-love, health, queering fat acceptance was the title of one workshop. The politics of colony and post-hurricane politics in PR and USVI was another. Most puzzling for a gathering ostensibly dedicated to the political interest of people discriminated against because of their same-sex attraction was the discussion simply entitled Asexuals. As the topics of conversation at America's largest assembly of gay activists suggest, America is rapidly becoming a post-gay country. Gay people were once policed as criminal subversives, sorry about that, depicted in the popular culture as deviants, and pathologized by the medical establishment as mentally ill. Now most of America views homosexuality as benign. Only 30 years ago, 57% of Americans believed consensual gay sex should be illegal. Today, same-sex marriage has been achieved nationally. Gays can serve openly in the military, and most gay people live in states that protect them from discrimination. An openly gay man is running a serious campaign for president, and his homosexuality is considered immaterial, if not an advantage that distinguishes him from the crowded field. According to the Pew Research Center, 70% of Americans say homosexuality should be accepted, an all-time high. Right? So, you guys could go read it. I want to just jump a little further into the article because it's so long. Despite evident progress, however, many gay rights activists are hesitant to exult in their victories. To listen to some movement grandees is to think that the situation has actually never been worse. The coordinated, systematic onslaught of attacks on the LGBTQ civil rights has been unprecedented in scale and scope, Chad Griffin, the president of the Human Rights Campaign, said of the Trump administration in an interview with Benoit Densiet Lewis for the New York Times Magazine this past January. For gays, the worst is yet to come again, declared the headline of a characteristically pessimistic Times op-ed by the legendary gay activist and playwright Larry Kramer. Behind this gloominess lies the 2016 election, which many gay activists believe threatened to halt, if not reverse, all the progress they have made. Yet while Donald Trump built his campaign upon resentment of various minority groups, this is a left-leaning paper, right? Various minority groups, gay people were conspicuously not among them. At a time when Americans are riven by tribal differences related to politics, race, gender, geography, religion, and other factors, it is hard to find another issue around which there is so much consensus as basic fairness for gay people. So, as you see, and this is from the Atlantic, a way left-leaning paper, right? Or online paper. I don't know if they have a paper. But anyway, so there you go, right? So nobody wants to give credit to Trump for anything. So instead, they make him out to be the boogeyman on issues that he isn't trying to reverse, that he's actually with you. He's trying to stop the criminalization of homosexuality around the globe. But of course, this is something that you will never hear in the mainstream media because they want you to hate him. They want you to hate him at all costs. They don't want to show you that he's actually been working for the betterment of all people. Right? They had, like I said, this is a left-leaning paper. So you saw they said that he's attacked all minority. Here goes. Yet while Donald Trump built his campaign upon resentment of various minority groups. Now, they say he built his campaign like that. No, the media did that. Their propaganda that Trump hates this, Trump hates that. But Trump's message is clear. America, make America great again. America. If you hear white America you have mental issues. Trump has worked hard for everyone. The lowest unemployment for Hispanics, lowest unemployment for blacks, lowest unemployment for women in over 40 years, lowest unemployment for Asians in history. This is an everybody movement. This is an everybody movement. The people who separate themselves are the tribalists, the Democrats, who put you into groups, right? They put you into all types of groups. And then they tell you that the other side hates each and every one of you. But Trump's not separating you. He lumps you all into one large lump. And he says, America, all of you, I want to make everybody's life easier. I'm not going to choose an enemy. I'm going to follow our laws. I'm even going to care about the people trying to get in here. Because And let me tell you, I have this story coming. Well, if I get to it, I should cut this one off right now. But Trump even cares about all of those people coming from across the border. It's a dangerous track. Dangerous. And the Democrats have created a magnet. They're telling everybody, come in. Don't worry about it. Because they're okay with you violating our laws. They know that over 80% of the people who claim asylum claim it under false pretenses. Yet they won't change those laws. They won't fix them. That's the magnet. People know that if they come with a child, they'll get in. Regardless if they qualify for asylum. They'll make the request, and because our court system is so backed up, they'll get to stay here 2 to 4 years. And then good luck trying to find them if they don't show up to court. Then when you try to find them, you're the enemy. All right. You're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM. And I'll be right back.
In the building with me though. Smoking mirrors, but the Zilla got the straight vision after holding the ups down just like victims. Got a double notch to kick, you see the fam tripping. My shoulders RTB, we on a mission, pardon me. That be a DUB, you won't last like RG3. I guarantee money back and y'all don't want none of that. Treat it like leftovers, gotta keep it under wraps. Only at a concert would Jews be the ones to clap. The king's is back, you hear us clear, this ain't no mumble rap. Trump hand thoughts follow these walls like a thundercat. Standing on my ego, high level to the money stack. I be trying to get it, they be trying to borrow. I see them with their hands out, I'ma see you tomorrow. Not the one to follow, drink the beer and swing the bottle. Roll a plank and get higher than Mount Kilimanjaro. Success, fill a hater heart with sorrow. If you side switch your dudes to get what you get. Me and Kel's got the force come to sip. Trouble be quick, them other side cats wanna run that hard facts. Small world, see me right where you at. Burn the J right in the front and I'ma be right back. See about what they talking so I know it's real. Fight now, you know the deal. Don't fuck the city up like a Cloverfield.
Dog, we never changed up. Dog, we never changed up. For 2 decades, we've been on the same stuff. Like how I tied my people, we done came up. Now let me mix the gin and tonic in the same cup. Dog, we never changed up. Dog, we never changed up. For 2 decades, we've been on the same stuff. Like how I tied my people, we done came up. Now let me mix the gin and tonic in the same cup. This shit easy, like reciting the alphabet. I'm the Omega, and you still ain't see the alphabet yet. Shit raps might blow you fools out your sweats, leave you with a joker face just for coming out your neck. In the booth we trying, and I'm writing like a marathon. Other rappers hating like this an unfairathon. I keep breathing hip hop until my air is gone. When it comes to lyricism, people, I'm the paragon. Hating and carry on, that's until I bury you. I'm a cool dude, I take you to the cemetery too. I'm no crip, but I'm feeling like Larry Cool. Got a baby face, but they act like I'm a scary dude. They terrified. Scared to ride, I'm prepared to die. Real, I am scared to lie. I'm killing everything, I feel it in the air tonight. Animal with the bars, it's like they got a better right. I'm rapping on a beat named Cloverfield, and you know I'm spitting with a Hoverfield. The flow's froze, my get a colder shield. Me and Grind eating, just you know that we overfilled.
All right, you're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news. All right, let me get this up here.
He's not going to be beaten just by somebody who has plans. He's going to be beaten by somebody who has
Marianne
an idea
Williamson.
what this man has done. This man has reached into the psyche of the American people, and he has harnessed fear for political purposes. So, Mr. President, if you're listening, I want you to hear me, please. You have harnessed fear for political purposes, and only love can cast that out. So sir, I have a feeling you know what you're doing. I'm going to harness love for political purposes. I will meet you on that field, and sir, love will win.
Love will win. I guess love will find the way, right?
Senator Sanders, good evening to you.
Right, so all you need is love. According to Marianne Williamson, all you need is love, and she's gonna fight Trump with love. Right? She's gonna fight. I do you understand what she's saying? Right? Love. These people have so much hate in their hearts. And she's going to fight Trump with love? But I don't know about love. Does love defeat all? Do you think love defeats all? I'm not sure about that. I really am not sure about that. You tell me. Oh. So, really, what's love got to do with it? You know, I don't want to keep playing videos, but love is a battlefield, right? But, you know, actually, if I'm going to pick somebody who I enjoyed most, right? If I got to pick somebody who I enjoyed most, I would say it's Marianne Williamson, right? You could tell you could tell she's an author, right? You could tell that she's trying to, I mean, they're all trying to connect with words, but she's being creative, and you got to give her that, right? The rest of them is all practice. Even Kamala Harris, you know, saying, Joe, why did you leave me at the bus stop? Why wouldn't you send the bus, Joe? Right? Kamala that was all practice. That was set up. Obviously, she doesn't want to be vice president, right? She's going for the juggler now. So I think she's telling Joe, I don't want to be the second half of the ticket. So, anyway, like I said, Marianne Williamson, I hope she's in the next debate. You know, at least we got to hear something interesting. Right, she was the interesting one, and then I think Pete Buttigieg won the debate. Then if you want to go for, you know, making a big splash or whatever, attack, it would be Kamala. Then everybody else was ridiculous. It was just nonsense, boring. But let's see. Anyway, let's move on to a this is on NBC News. All right. Canadian artist fired after viral Trump cartoon. Right? This is a false narrative which has emerged carelessly and recklessly on social media. Brunswick News Inc. said on the termination of Michael the Adder. Right? A publishing company in New Brunswick, Canada, has terminated its contract with cartoonist Michael the Adder after a drawing he did of President Donald Trump standing over the bodies of two drowned migrants went viral on social media. The drawing was posted on Theater's Twitter account on June 26, shows Trump standing beside a golf cart, golf club in hand, looking down at the bodies of a father and daughter who drowned in the Rio Grande while trying to cross from Mexico into Texas. Trump asked, "Do you mind if I play through?" Right? And there goes the picture there. I'm not sure if you can see it very well, but let me blow it up for you. And it's Trump, you know, and it's a horrible picture. It's a horrible depiction of, I guess the artist is showing you what he thinks Trump feels about people dying on the border. But the truth is, there's only one person trying to deter these people from making that dangerous trek, that dangerous crossing of the Rio Grande, and that's Donald Trump. The other leaders have failed. They know that there's human trafficking happening. They know that there's sexual assaults of women and children on those tracks. They know it. The Democrats know this. Nancy Pelosi knows it. Nancy Pelosi knows it. They don't care. They really don't care. And it's Donald Trump who's telling the people, don't do it. One, it's dangerous. Two, you're breaking our laws. Obama, I should have pulled this audio track and I'll pull it for my next show. Obama said, don't come, don't send your children by themselves because they're going to be turned right back around. Obama said that. And everybody thought that was okay when he said it. So it should be okay when President Trump says it. And he said it over and over. This is a dangerous trek that these people should not be taking. They should not be attempting. But the Democrats are the ones who are basically, they're basically co-conspirators in this thing. They have drawn out this fight over changing the asylum laws. They have drawn out this fight about actually putting more security, more feet on the ground, more walls built, deterring these people from wanting to take this trek. It's the Democrats' fault. They basically co-signed on the death of that father and daughter. The Democrats have continuously co-signed the deaths of Americans, the deaths of illegal immigrants, because they refuse to make the hard decisions. Right? So this guy gets fired. Right? And here goes the reporting in the AP. A grim border drowning underlines the man and his 23-month-old daughter lay face down. All right, that's it. I don't want to keep looking at this, but anyway, so this guy gets fired, and I feel bad for him getting fired. He did a stupid cartoon, but the problem is that the media, regular people, you see the people in Antifa, they don't know where the line is anymore. They no longer know where the line is. Because I disagree with you, it doesn't make me a bad person. Because I want border security. It doesn't make me a bad person. I have the same feelings Obama had a few years ago on this issue. If I'm a horrible person, so is Obama. And I'll show this picture one more time. I hate this picture, but I'll show it one more time. This is what the Democrats are co-signing. They are co-signing this. It's horrible. And then, you know what? I'm going to read this article, some of this article, because it's important. Because this article itself is misleading. The man and his 23-month-old daughter lay face down in shallow water along the bank of the Rio Grande, his black shirt hiked up to his chest with the girl tucked inside. Her arm was draped around his neck, suggesting she clung to him in her final moments. The searing photograph of the sad discovery of their bodies on Monday, captured by journalist Julia Leduc and published by Mexican newspaper La Jornada, highlights the perils faced by mostly Central American migrants fleeing violence and poverty and hoping for asylum in the United States. And this is why I say this is misleading. If you go down in this article, according to Leduc reporting for La Jornada, Oscar Alberto Martinez Ramirez, frustrated because the family from... Listen, they tell you this is what happens to them because they're fleeing from violence and poverty. And those first few lines, the first paragraph, is what most people read. Right? So anyway, Oscar Albert Martinez Ramirez, frustrated because the family from El Salvador was unable to present themselves to U.S. authorities and request asylum, swam across because he had to get in line. Right? Swam across the river on Sunday with his daughter Valeria. He set her on the U.S. bank of the river and started back. You understand this? He made it to the other side and then left her. He set her on the U.S. bank of the river and started back for his wife, Tania Vanessa Avelos. But seeing him move away, the girl threw herself into the waters. Martinez returned and was able to grab Valeria, but the current swept them both away. The account was based on remarks by Avelos to police at the scene. Amid tears and screams, Leduc told the Associated Press. Details of the incident were confirmed Tuesday by a Tamaulipas state government official who was not authorized to discuss the matter publicly and spoke on condition of anonymity, and by Martinez's mother back in El Salvador, Rosa Ramirez, who spoke with her daughter-in-law by phone afterward. When the girl jumped in is when he tried to reach her, but when he tried to grab the girl, he went in further and he couldn't get out, Ramirez told the AP. He put her in his shirt, and I imagine he told himself, I've come this far, and decided to go with her. From the scorching Sonoran Desert to the fast-moving Rio Grande, the 2,000-mile U.S.-Mexico border has long been an, at times, deadly crossing between ports of entry. A total of 283 migrant deaths were recorded last year. The toll so far this year has not been released. Right? So, in recent weeks alone, 2 babies, a toddler, and a woman were found dead in the sweltering heat. 3 children and an adult from Honduras died in April after their raft capsized on the Rio Grande, and a 6-year-old from India was found dead earlier this month in Arizona, where temperatures routinely soar well above 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Right? So, this is the thing. Right? And this is a good example. They found an Indian boy. They've been finding groups from China, groups from Africa, groups from Cuba. These aren't only Central Americans crossing. Because we've created a magnet where everybody is going to try to come in. The Democrats have co-signed this. And I want to get to the point where I say it's misleading. Here it is. Ramirez said her son and his family left El Salvador not because they were in fear of anything. On April 3rd, and spent about 2 months at a shelter at Tapachula, near Mexico's border with Guatemala. I begged them not to go, but he wanted to scrape together money to build a home, Ramirez said. They hope to be there a few years and save up for a house. They weren't running from anything. Yes, they were running to opportunity, but you have to do that the right way. But these articles are so misleading. I got to get out of here. I'm already over. You've been listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5
So you're
FM.
a philosopher?
Yes. 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 I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply.
See ya.
4 seconds, a teacher will begin to speak.
I think very deeply.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
Radiofónica Multiplex, La Voz Radio, desde New Haven, Connecticut, al mundo.